It took me 9 years to learn how to fade like this, and I'm going to show you for free. So I'm going to start off with my foreguard and take down the top. And the reason I want to begin by taking down the top first is because I want to know exactly what I'm blending into, and this is about the simplest part of the haircut. There's really no skill or technique here. I'm just going against the grain of the hair. And for those of you who don't know what that means, all that means is the way the hair naturally wants to go, you cut against it, right? So if it wants to go forward, I'm cutting backwards. If it wants to go backward, I'm cutting forward. So I'm going in every which way, in every which direction, trying to get those hairs cut down. As you can see, we're still attacking it. A lot of people will go through this super quick. I want to go through this quickly, but I also want to make sure that this is truly a number 4, because what will happen is people will get buzz cuts, right? And they'll go home and shower, and when the hair is kind of frizzed up, they'll see little hairs sticking out, and it just doesn't look good. It makes you look like you rushed, and the client will definitely remember, man, this guy did not make my hair even. So that is not what you want to do. Now right under that foreguard, I have my 3-guard, and I want to debulk the top of the fade. So that way, once I establish my bald line, I know that I'm only blending into a 3. So I'm going to come in with my clipper closed at the top of the arch and then go straight back. This is going to be a pretty simple fade, no drops, no cool effects, just straight at the top of the arch, all the way back to the occipital bone. And the occipital bone is just the bone that protrudes out of the back of the head. Most people have it. And I'm being sure to go right at that occipital bone. I don't want to go super high because this isn't going to be a high fade. It's really a mid fade, but I stretch it out in order to make it look super blurry. And now what we're going to do is take down the bottom with our trimmer. And the reason I didn't start off with my trimmer and I started off with my clipper closed is because it's just going to make it a lot easier to get rid of that first line since we didn't cut it so close. And yes, my trimmers are 0 gapped, so they cut a little closer. But I'm also being sure that with this trimmer, I'm not applying too much pressure to the skin, because the last thing you want to do, and I feel as if it's a rookie mistake, is create unnecessary irritation. Now, there is some clients that will bump and get red no matter what you do, but the goal as the barber is to limit that. And now we're going to come over to the other side and do the same exact thing, shaving down the bottom. And this process from the bald line to the first step of the fade, we should take about like 5 minutes by knocking down the top and, balding out the bottom. So we're here, we're going to finish off the bald fade with our shaver, getting it nice and close to the skin. And you'll see I'm being careful to not take this all the way up to the top of that bald line. I want to stay a little below it, just so we don't create another harsh line. And it's going to be pretty simple building a fade on top of this, because we already took down the top. We already balded out the bottom. So we need to just take care of that middle section, which is the transition from that bald into the length on the top. Super simple, super easy. Now we're going to come in with our lever all the way open. And as you can see, we're going up about 1/4 inch, or I like to say a finger's width. All that means is put your finger where that bald line began and make that next guideline the width of that. So I have my lever open, and we're following that same exact shape that we created with that bald line. And you see I'm going over it multiple times just to ensure that it is truly a lever open. And now we have our 1 guard with the lever open. And with this, we're going to go about the same distance, about a finger's width. Here, I was just going through the motions, kind of going quickly. So I made this guideline just a little wider, but it won't be a big deal. But you could either go the same width as the last guideline or this width. You just don't want to go much higher than what this is right here. And now we're going to go to the 2 guard, lever all the way open. And with this, it should blend right into that 3. So there's not a lot of blend work that we need to do. But I want to come in and flick out as much as I can as I get towards the top, so I don't take this fade super high. And now we establish all our lines going up. Now we're going to work our way down. So we have our 1.5 open, and we're going to attack that line above the 1 guard open And then if the open isn't doing the job, we'll close that lever notch by notch. Now this client's hair blends very easily. As you can see, this line is pretty much coming out on the first go around, which makes it super simple. Now we're gonna drop down to our half guard with that lever open. And as you can see, I closed that notch halfway. And step by step, we're getting rid of that line and we're almost to the bottom of the fade. And this is the importance of having that system, having that process that you can follow to achieve a clean blend consistently and on any hair texture. Now for that last line, we're gonna come in close, finishing off that system. And then as we move up, we'll actually open up that lever notch by notch, being sure to not take the blend much higher than what it is. But if you desire to have a hair cutting system that provides consistency and quality in an efficient manner, I have the answer for you. So in the link in my description, you can join my online barber training program. Now in this program, I give you my tips, tricks, and techniques in order to get next level haircuts, right? Instagram quality level haircuts, while at the same time building a barber business with clientele that will keep you booked. So if that is something you are interested in, tap the link in my description and join our online community of barbers who are hungry to grow, and I hope to see you in the community. And you guys noticed as I was talking, the lights dimmed because in my studio, if somebody doesn't move from that one spot for a while, they tend to shut off. So that's what had happened. And now we're using the corner of our trimmer to get rid of that bald line. Now to really clean up that transition into the top, we're gonna do some clipper over comb. So I'm coming in with that comb, and any hair sticking out, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of. And now we're gonna do a slight blend into the beard. So it's actually the same steps. We already had our bald line, so we came in lever open, got rid of the line in between. Then we're gonna go to our 1 guard open, then our 1.5, and that should pretty much blend into the length that he already has. But towards the end of the haircut, we are actually going to lower this beard down to a 2 guard, but we're just trying to blend into the length that he has already. And as you can see, super easy, super simple, way easier than fading the hair. And now we're gonna come to the other side and we're gonna apply that same exact system of cutting. Lever open, 1 guard open, 2 guard open, and then blend down, right? Super easy, super simple. But you can see towards the back of his head where the lever open is, there's a line there, and that's just created by the indentations that are just naturally in the back of my client's head. So when you're dealing with that while you're blending, what you want to do is just pay extra attention to detail. When fading those areas, it'll involve a lot of corner work in order to blend those spots out. But a lot of times there's indentations and dark spots in clients' heads that you can't really do anything about, right? So you try to blend it as best as you can, and then sometimes it's best to just leave it as is. Just because if you try to detail a dark spot too much, especially if it's just caused by the indentations that are naturally in the client's hair, you end up raising the fade way higher than you want to. So that's why I said sometimes it's just better to leave it. Now for that line below the 1.5, I have my half guard open, and then we'll close that little by little. So like I said, in my online training program, Drake Clipper Hands Academy, there's about 195 students who have already enrolled, and some of their stories are amazing. Their progress and their haircuts are amazing, and I would love to do that for you. So if you are a barber who is learning how to cut, or who is trying to learn how to cut because you want to make this a career that you can build on, I want to help you get your haircuts to where you want to be. So again, hit the link in my description, join Drake Clipper Hands Academy, and I will give you everything that I know as much as possible, because you will be thrown into a Discord community of those barbers who enrolled in the course, and you guys will be able to feed off each other as well as get feedback from me. So again, link in the description. Now we're finishing off this blend with the corner work, getting it nice and clean. And now we're gonna blend into the beard, and that side profile is hitting, blend is hitting. I know once we put the line on the beard and on the front, it's really gonna set this off and give us that Instagram quality. And like I said, we are lowering down the beard. We want to keep it dark, but at the same time a little more to the face, not as scruffy. So I have my 2 guard with the lever closed, and we're going against the grain just like we did with the top in every which direction, trying to get this as even as possible. And now for the lineup, I always like beginning my lineup with the vertical bars first and then matching across, right? I think it's easier to get a straight lineup by lining up the vertical bars because it gives you reference points on where you need to meet in those corners. So we're starting in the middle and we're gonna work towards his left corner. And the lineup is one of my favorite parts of the haircut just because it frames everything out. It really brings out that blend and any imperfections that you might need to go back and detail as well. So in that corner, you see I'm not digging up into the lighter areas. I'm keeping it natural straight across. And then on this side, we do have to dig into it just a little bit because that cowlick causes a lot of hair growth in his right corner. So in order to match it with his left side, we just bring it up slightly. And now we are going to enhance it. So with the enhancement, we want to spray it lightly and then darken it up as needed. So you'll see I'll place my card right on the line, spray it, and then I'll respray it if I feel like it needs to be darker. But the goal here is to not make it look super black. You just want to fill in the light areas and make it look as perfect as you can, right? Because just like lineups are temporary and haircuts are temporary, because they grow back, so are enhancements. But you don't want to overdo it. You want to keep it as natural looking as possible, as you can see. Now for the beard, we're going to start off by lining up his mustache. Now we want to just get those hairs off of his lip and then to clean up the top, and then we'll lean our client back and line up the bottom. So for the lineup, as you can see, my client naturally has a round beard line. So we're just going to respect what it naturally wants to do and not try to force a square. And I think it actually works with my client's face shape as well. And barbers, if you're lining up the bottom of your client's beard and your chair has the ability to recline or put a headrest, be sure to do so. I know it's very uncomfortable to just put your neck backwards and hold it there for 3 to 5 minutes in order for your barber to line up the bottom. So just a more comfortable experience for the client, and that's the go. So we're gonna start off by using our razor just to clean up the lineup. I didn't get me doing the top front lineup, but I did the sides. And now we're gonna have our client blow a bubble. And you want to establish the line at the bottom of the beard and then go to the top of the beard and meet those 2 points in the middle. Now as you can see, we're cleaning up the top, getting rid of all those little hairs. And now we're going to put the cherry on top and put some product on the side. So I'm using some level 3 pomade just to give it some shine and lay down those hairs that might be sticking up. But fam, this blend is crazy. Like I said, it took me 9 years to do these type of haircuts and fades with ease, and hopefully this video helped you, that I gave you value for free. But if you want to go more in depth, like I said, you can join Dre Clipper Hands Academy, my online training program, by tapping the link in my bio. I hope to see you in the community. But fam, this is the haircut. Hopefully this video helped you in some way, shape, or form. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and while you're at it, drop a comment down below. But like always, I will catch y'all next time. Peace.